Watch him throw the ball, we gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive, this is Trap or Dive. Yo, turn your mic on. Turn your mic on. Hey, man, we're going to do things a little different. I guess I'll do the introduction while Mual has his technical difficulties. Welcome to Trap or Dive, Trap or Hail Mary, whatever you want to call it. Man, what a roller coaster game. But, shout out to my co-host, Jamal Forrest, better known as Henny Mual. Let Mual tell it on X. Let's go. Get into it, Jim Brown.
Hey, look, man. Hey,
James Brown.
I said it online, bro. I'm so discombobulated, bro. I didn't even realize the mic was off, bro. God damn. Again, 18-15 Commanders dub. They make it to 6-2, bro, off the backs of a Hail Mary. The first of its kind, in FedEx, I believe, if I had to take a guess. Anyway, don't matter. 6-2. Bruh, I don't even in here with AJ, of course. Everybody in the chat, appreciate y'all checking in and appreciate the heads up with the no sound too. I see y'all, bro. Oh my goodness. Bears fall to 4-3, man. It was a rough fourth quarter. A very long fourth quarter. The way things were spinning, and you kind of seen the tide turn in the favor of Chicago. like in real time, like you knew when the tide was turning. And the good thing for Washington in that last drive is the fact that one, you got the ball back with a timeout left. Two, you got Jaden Daniels back there who can really buy you a 6 second head start to the end zone for the Hail Mary, because that's what they needed to get this dub, bro. AJ, how you feeling, big dog? Appreciate you saving the day as we started this show.
Nah,
But
all
what's up
good,
with you,
man.
dog?
Yeah, man, it was a roller coaster game, man. Very frustrating. But we could get to all that later. Boy, boy, ain't no way. Boy,
Oh,
ain't no way. Washington has a superstar quarterback. And it's not just because of the Hail Mary, but just the composure, uh just just being able to maneuver just really did a lot for this team today. Unfortunately, weren't able to put up as much touchdowns as we would have liked with the opportunities they had. But I mean, this dude is a game changer, bro. Like game changer. Even in that moment of like only a limited amount of time on the clock, I still felt like they had a chance. Some guys just have that it. Some young ladies just have that it to them, man, and he has that it factor. And I feel like the players on the team also believed in him. That's why you have opportunities to be able to be competitive in each and every game with this organization as long as he's out there on the field. It was hard listening to Tony Romo. Yeah, right here, on the tail memory
oh
with
my
his
goodness,
rib,
bro.
they should take out Jaden Daniels because of
And
his
put
rib and put
Mariota
in
in.
Marcus Mariota. I'm like, and Tony's my guy, but what the hell were you talking about? There's certain guys that just have that it factor, man. And fortunately, they were able to turn this around from being a massive loss to a W and continue on to the next week. Unscathed at the quarterback position. Some other things happened, but man, what a game for the home fans to witness, and also just to win back this organization and let them know like this team is for real. This is a for real deal team. Washington Commanders are 6-2 to end the month of October.
Man, you said a bunch of amazing things. Brad, starting with Jaden. Well, matter of fact, let's get into the game, because I don't like you said a lot that we don't even need to, like, you were spot on, bro. Let's get into the game. The Hail Mary is gonna be what we're talking about all week. It saves the day, and things like that. But the game in itself, bro. Very early on, we saw kind of remnants of that Giants game. Actually, honestly, throughout the entire day, it was remnants of the Giants game. Like, you see how things were unfolding. But this offense of the Chicago Bears was a little bit more lethal than the New York Giants. It was just a matter of time until some things started clicking, right? And DeAndre Swift had a hell of a day. A running back who I really don't have that much uh no disrespect, but I don't have that much respect for as a running back, like as an actual runner. But when he took off for that 56-yarder, some things just started clicking for him. And granted, they only had a couple of good plays, couple of good run plays. I think it was really the Caleb Williams show who really found ways to like buy time in the pocket, elusive as hell. He extended drives for him for whatever that was worth early on. He was off in the passing game. But offensively, AJ, for Washington, it was just one of those games where it's like, all right, well, there's moments where this run game is working, and then we don't really stick with it. And then there's moments of like the pass game working, but like there's either some bad throws, there's either some pressure, or like they just can't get in sync for whatever reason. And honestly, that front seven or front line for Chicago, aka Montez Sweat. He was the one who was really causing problems up front and creating headaches for these guys. So a lot to kind of digest there, but like, what were some of your thoughts as the game flow occurred?
I mean, I definitely have to give a shout out to Washington's defense. They played a hell of a game. I mean, it was only at some point you were going to give up a big play when your team isn't scoring touchdowns. Field goals these days damn near feel like punts. If you're not going to be able to score touchdowns, so as long as they kept not scoring touchdowns, the defense had to uphold their end. And at some point you're going to break, and they broke on that DeAndre Swift 56-yard run, which I thought might have had a block in the back from Keenan Allen, but that didn't get called. So I feel like the defense had an amazing day. They pretty much stifled the Chicago Bears offense. Also, towards the end, Shane Waldron did them a favor. I don't know what the hell, that was probably the dumbest play call I've ever seen from
Bruh,
an
I
offensive
couldn't believe it.
coordinator in my life. Especially situational base, like to give the ball to a backup offensive lineman is insane to try to go up in the game. But offensively, I feel like Cliff never got into a rhythm calling the game. Never at all. Like I don't think Brian Robinson looked as explosive. Um, yeah, there was just really no rhythm, and I feel like the Chicago Bears did a good job in coverage against Washington's wide receiver. You really didn't have much separation on the day. You had some of those guys when they did get opportunities dropping the ball. I think Cliff overthought some play calls, especially within the red zone, the penalties.
The
You
penalties
know,
was the biggest thing, and the wildest part, AJ, is like Washington was out penalized. Like Chicago definitely had more penalties than Washington, but it's the factor in which the penalties occurred. Washington gets a I think it was like a second down. It was coming out of the halftime. It was like a second down where Zacchaeus scores on the swing pass or the screen, bursts down the sideline, and who was it, the right guard, Sam Cosmi is like at least like 6-7 yards downfield, bro. And I'm like, I'm hearing Tony Romo talking about something. It's debatable, and I look at the replay. I'm just like, bro, this motherfucker he is way past the line. Like that's not debate. That's not debatable. That's getting called back. And then like some other plays that's not off the top of my head, but that's the biggest one because it happened on a touchdown. And I think like as you said, you mentioned the penalties, but like that's kind of one of the more frustrating things. I heard you mention the block in the back. I honestly think because people were going crazy on social media, and I don't want to get distracted from the bigger point, and especially since you were talking to, I kind of cut you off, which wasn't my intention. But they like people were talking about penalties, and I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, it's not the refs' fault, like for these calls or these quote unquote lack of calls. Like Washington is really shooting themselves in the foot when they get in plus territory. They are shooting themselves in the foot, and this is how you end up in with a 3-point game, a 6-point game, a 9-point game, a 12-point game instead of potentially 24 or 28 points.
Yeah, man. I just think so much of the week was put on the emphasis of, hey, um, Jaden Daniels isn't practicing Wednesday, not practicing Thursday, not really practicing Friday. But it looked like Cliff and the offense didn't practice at all this week. Because, I mean, it was just too many mishaps, like things that we've seen them, really do a good job of. It was too many mishaps. Like you lost points on the board because of a legal man downfield, like the play that you just broke down. Cosme was so far downfield, it wasn't even remotely close. Like it was insane. But you just hope that they can clean it up. It seems like the same thing that kind of happened against the New York Giants, where
Yeah,
Seibert ended up having to win the game for them.
yeah,
You just don't want to continue to see these things happen, especially when the emphasis during the week, because a lot of these NFL practices during the season for teams aren't training camp practices. They're not like heavy reps of contact or whatever. When you know that there's particular days of the week where they emphasize on red zone, and this is the result of that, you might need to step it up a bit more in how you go about practicing red zone, because as the season continues, you can't have these type of games where you're not putting 7 on the board. Like if they had just been able to put up 21 points, which they were well in the position to do, this game is not even remotely close. Like, it's not close at all. But because the inefficiency in scoring touchdowns, it kept the Bears in all game. Like all game. Then you also have Seibert, who I feel like can't necessarily kick 50 plus yards. Kind of proved that. That kick ain't even get blocked.
Yeah, it didn't. But hold on. Oh,
Like
we can't say
he
he
looked
ain't
like he
he
looked like
ain't
a contestant. He looked
he
like a
had some 50
contestant on
yardage, but that joint
college
ain't
game
get.
day.
Yeah, that joint ain't look good. But he just got a lot of grass on that joint, bro. Oh, I didn't know if he was done, but I was
Oh
just saying
yeah,
he just got a lot of grass.
I'm done. I just felt like on that particular kick, he looked like a contestant on college game day. Yeah, that was insane. Like, I mean, a 6 year old can kick better than that.
Yeah, the defense for sure deserves a ton of credit. I mean, I think Hawks Haven, shout out to Bill and Bangkok again, who does a good job of tracking quarter by quarter stats. The first half numbers, where are they at? Halftime stats. Washington had held, like, all right, put it this way. Let me actually inverse this. Washington outgained Chicago 267 yards to 90 yards of Chicago's. Both of them had five drives each. Jaden and Washington had 154 yards passing to Chicago's 13. And then Chicago had 77 first half rushing yards. Obviously, again, as we mentioned with um, Caleb, he had a bunch of those on the ground himself. Obviously, the 56 yarder popped off in the second half for DeAndre Swift. But yeah, Caleb Williams 33 yards in the first half passing. DeAndre Swift 31 yards rushing. Caleb 29. And obviously Washington, the biggest play for them, and even B Rob at that point was averaging 5 yards a carry. Things kind of slowed down in that second half. B Rob had 10 carries, 50 yards in the first half. Terry McLaurin had that 61 yarder for a touchdown. What also hurt too is Zach Ertz touchdown. Did you think that was do y'all think, everybody in the chat, do y'all think that was a touchdown with Zach Ertz? I was telling my dad, because they called me. Well, my dad be geeked up when Washington is good, bro. But he called me during the game, and they was trying to figure out, like, was it a touchdown? In my eyes, I thought it was, but I also know that they ruled it incomplete on the field. So I said, if anything, this was going to be one of those plays where it's like they're going to stand with the play on the field versus like and be like real technical with their rules. Because if you think about it, in an actual flow of a game, if you're not like being technical with your rules, anybody can see that that was a catch, and dude just dislodged it after it hit the ground. But I don't know. Like, this is just one of those moments where you talking about missed opportunities in the red zone. I think that was definitely clearly one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a touchdown, right? It's just kind of hard with how the NFL judges catches. I mean, damn, it wasn't like it was something abnormal. I felt like it was a touchdown, but either way, man, you got to finish these plays. They had plenty of other opportunities to score. Unfortunately, it didn't get it done. Hate that it came down to the wire of us having to celebrate a Hail Mary pass, especially when you look at the yards differential, time of possession differential, every category. Literally, Washington won in, and that had to come to a Hail Mary. It's just kind of insane. Wasn't like Chicago's offense wasn't really even getting to move the ball like that. So it's just crazy.
Yeah,
But yeah, I feel
this was
like it was
actually
a I feel like it was a touchdown.
this was actually the first period since 1997 where the Commanders defense had, you had kind of mentioned the defense for a second point, but Commanders had back-to-back shutouts of their opponents. That was the first time since 1997. They mentioned that during halftime. Yeah, like they really did their job, and honestly, it's rough, but it's just one of those moments where you look at this and you say, um, thank God for miracles, man. They do exist, because this was honestly, matter of fact, this is actually a perfect time to talk about this one particular conversation, right? You said the red zone. Where did you said the red zone was a problem? And obviously, I think like one of those trends that I think can be concerning. So the New York Giants defense, for however you feel about their actual team, their defense is good. Statistically and analytically, however, like that what is it called? EPA stuff, right? And they're good if you watch them. Uh, Minus the Eagles game last week, that was ugly. But point being, moving forward, like the next test that they had was the Ravens, who was spotty, like they're not like an elite defense. And then you got the Chicago Bears defense, right? And against the Giants and the Eagles, I mean the Giants and the Bears, you're kicking field goals in the red zone. AJ, you brought up an excellent point about being able to convert in these moments because being good in between the 20s can only take you so far. You gotta hope if you're good in between the 20s that you get a shot play like that 60 yarder to Terry and he houses it. Like that's what you gotta hope for in these moments. As opposed to being able to like get inside the 20 and actually find your way inside the end zone. Like good red zone defenses are going to find a way to clamp down, right? Because they don't care what you do inside the 20 as long as they hold you to 3 if you make it to the red zone. And keep their offense and keep their team in it. But that's like one trend where I think about and I say, all right, well, you hope that this does get fixed ASAP because you're going to have some defenses who are coming up and they're right around the corner for sure that that are going to be able to take advantage of these situations. You can't keep coming up clean. Can't keep coming up with ways to get by just like the way they did today. I say all that to say, if you got thoughts on that, cool. Go ahead, elaborate. But the question that I was going to bring to you and to the people in the chat was minus the Hail Mary, like the overall narrative of this game would have been what?
The overall narrative of the game is the offense was stagnant in the red zone. I mean that ultimately is why the game was as close as it was. That's why you would probably even say Jaden didn't have an amazing day. I mean, the numbers statistically speak like he did, but there was a lack of passing touchdowns. The running backs didn't have opportunities, the penalties in plays like the Zacchaeus play. You know, that's a touchdown that got called back. But yeah, I think the ultimate narrative of the day would have been like, what the hell is going on with the offense?
Somewhat what's going on with the offense, but also I think I'll expound it a little bit. And what I mean by that is like how actually let me kind of inverse this. What how strong or how solid of a unit is this offense really given that the performances that I kind of outlined against the Giants and today against the Bears, how strong of a unit is this offense really? And that's not to say that it is like you can't get by against like average, above average, or anything below that. Those defenses, right? But there are going to be some times where you play against tougher teams. Like who in the NFC? Let me look. Actually, like who in the NFC actually has like the Packers, the Vikings.
But I mean,
Who has like
I don't think none of those teams. Well, the two teams that you did mention, I don't believe they're on the schedule for Washington.
no? So what I'm thinking about,
Okay.
I'm projected towards like playoffs. That's kind of where I was projecting.
Okay,
Because like
gotcha.
eventually like you're gonna run into those things. That's where I was getting to. Like you're gonna run into those type of teams, and it's like you can get by in the regular season against those like solid, average, above average, mediocre. You can get by against those defenses. But say you face, matter of fact, before this week even started, if the playoffs was this week, you would have been playing Chicago. So imagine you play Chicago again in the playoffs. Like they're not gonna let that shit happen twice. So that's where I was getting at, AJ. Like there's gonna be some teams that you run into and you can be like, okay, we're gonna have some problems if we cannot get this red zone stuff together. Let alone these penalties, man. That was crazy. You lose like 2 or 3. I think you lose 2 tackles or 1 tackle today. You lose 2 overall with Brandon Coleman and then Cornelius Lucas. Like this is kind of it's a little nerve wracking right now, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think you still see the glaring need for another wide receiver. Uh, I mean, it was rumored last week that they were trying to add MVS, Valdez Scantling.
Oh, that was a
To
rumor.
it wasn't even necessarily a rumor. He had the
I'm
choice
asking because
between.
I had
Oh
no
yeah,
idea.
he had the choice between the Commanders and the Saints, and he ended up signing with the Saints. But
No, he tripping.
they were trying to sign him. So yeah, that's an official report. That's not a rumor. But at the end of the day, I think you need your wide receivers to separate more. I know the fans love Terry McLaurin, but he is such a body catcher. Like he's an amazing body catcher. But as a pure natural pass catcher, that's not really his thing.
I don't think that's a terrible thing at this point in his career though.
I
Like
mean,
I
yeah,
think it's a
it's
I think
not,
it's
but
mhm.
then you don't have on this roster, you don't have a natural pass catcher though. Like,
I think
and I think Zach Ertz played out of his mind today. Like
yeah, he did.
he
I
played
like
out
Zach.
of his mind. Like I did not expect that type of Zach Ertz
Boy was
in
jumping out
this.
the gym like he was 23, bro. Like on the
Yeah,
on the
like this.
drop on the incomplete quote unquote touchdown. I'm like, bro, getting bro, like, come on,
Yeah,
cooking.
like this point in his career, I did not expect him to look like Philadelphia Zach Ertz in this particular game. That's how he was going. You feel me? But yeah, I think those are some of the glaring things. I feel like they were able to hit home pass rush wise. They were able to give the Bears offensive line fits. You didn't really even look at the defense and think, damn, missing Jonathan Allen. Um,
Oh my god, we gotta talk about that. But continue.
yeah, so it's like, just some things still not really hitting. I mean, I don't want to. I guess I'll save some of my nitpicking for Tuesday, as more film comes in and I can be able to dissect a little bit more what I seen to the naked eye, not being present to see the all 22. But yeah, like, yeah, that's pretty much how I look at it. I mean, you do have concerns when you're going against a top tier defense, but at the end of the day, when you got five back there, you got a chance.
Now you do. Um, Let me go ahead and get our ad in, and then let's go ahead and get to some of these one sentence takeaways from some individuals on the chat. I think we got some post game commentary coming out as well. So let's go ahead and hear from Underdog Fantasy. It's currently boost over on Underdog, where there are promos near to play nearly every day from now until October 27th, which is today. It's the last day, and it's a couple more NBA games in. You can boost your profit on all NBA entries by 20%. Yep, Underdog is literally giving you unlimited profit boosts to make basketball entries. It's the best play to play champion. So sign up and deposit using promo code Trapper Dive to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. They're going to be running a special on bonus, excuse me, almost every single day, like profit boosts, discounts, and free picks. I love the free picks because I never forget when CD Lambs is needed. They made CD Lambs over or higher or lower at like 0.5 yards. Easy money. He's going to get a catch. The free picks is definitely a smooth option that Underdog Fantasy gives you. And obviously, I tell you all the time about B Rob, that anytime touchdown thing. That's why I love Underdog Fantasy, because you can put him on your ticket. He gonna cash. Now he didn't cash today, right? But he's shooting at night. He had 90% clip.
Damn sure didn't.
Yeah, he's shooting at a 90% clip. So do not stray away from Brian Robinson. Hit that higher stat every single time. So download the app today and use promo code Trapper Dive to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code Trapper Dive for bonus cash instantly. You must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or 1-800-639-8783 or text next step to 53342. If you're in New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE NY to 467-369. All right, let me do this thing right quick, bruh. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it at? Where's my moment? Where's this moment at? I know I got it in here. All right. All right. Where is it at? Share. This, uh, oh Lord. Yep. We gotta hear it one more
He
time.
said, "Oh Lord."
Uh, I'm in group chat spazzing, bro. I'm talking big shit, bro. Like everything, bro. I couldn't believe it, son. Like my jaw. First of all, I had to collect myself. My jaw dropped for like 10 seconds. I was like, oh shit, we won the game. I'm like, we really won this show, bro. Oh, and they covered. I told y'all on Thursday. AJ, you wasn't here on Thursday, right? Or am I tripping?
Nah, I did the Thursday show.
Okay, all right. I was trying to remember you. I don't. Oh, I did. I was dolo Wednesday. That's what I'm thinking about. Anyway,
Nah,
I did Thursday show,
oh,
and I'm like, bruh. I was like, bruh, if you are, and if Jaden is playing, take the +3 right now. Either way, they would have covered. They was down 3. If they lose a game, you cover. But if they win a game, you win. Washington wins, and you cover. Either way, it works out. But shout out to the mob, man. Let's get to these one sentence takeaways and get up out of here. Let's see. I think I got some player quotes and coaches quotes as well. Let's see. One sentence takeaways. Oh yeah, I see him. All right. Uh Shout out to Damien, man. Jaden Christ. Is what he said.
hey, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is. It is. Where else are we? Bill King, Lucky Lefty says, run the damn ball. Serp Terp, just win, baby. I respect it. Poetic Chris, rookie of the MF year, Jaden Daniels. Just wanted to cash. What the F just happened, Slim? Jay Tizzy says, speechless. Big man Paulie, no words, none but pure happiness. Smith for GM, Kyle Smith for GM, Hawks Haven finest. You get one of those a season. You done messed up when you're going good. You're going good. Somebody along the lines of what you've been saying, AJ, Ty do TJ. We need another receiver ASAP. In parentheses, he said, def if we want to compete with the good defenses. See what else I can find. DJ Sam, it shouldn't have even came down to that play if the officials were competent. That's crazy. Because if you
Man,
get out,
they ain't no damn one sentence.
what you mean? What part?
The person's one sentence takeaway was like a whole paragraph.
Nah, oh, I must. I had some other name. Maybe that was on me because I
Oh,
just went
okay.
through 3 people's tweets. That's all. But I was actually stopping at Sam's point. He said it shouldn't have even came down to, bro. I don't look. I don't. I can't do that, bro. Like Washington, I'm just in that same. I'm in that boat. I don't know about how y'all feeling. Y'all can feel the way y'all feel, and I'm not here to argue with you all. If you feel that the refs, got into the way and hindered Washington from winning the football game, do your thing. I just can't go that route, bro. Point blank period. Washington had chances on their own to capitalize when they were in positions to score, and they did not. And that's kind of where I am. Like, sure, I'm not saying that they were perfect. I'm saying Washington, it shouldn't. The refs were not a huge hindrance for them winning. Washington shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, like what caused the refs miss so much? Like, I mean, hey, Zach Ertz maybe get a better grip on the ball. I don't know. But like what other call? Like I don't think the Montez Sweat sack was a hip drop. I think he was going to do that and then he quickly realized and changed. But I
I
don't
didn't
really
even.
know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
didn't even
really
think
know
that was a
what
problem.
what call was really egregious to the point where you could say, "Oh my God, they almost cost us the game." Like, I mean, the legal man downfield was right. The false starts were right. I'm lost. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused, bro. Like even I'm sitting here, I'm actually joking on Twitter, like making a Friday reference about Montez Sweat. I'm like, when he hawked down on the hip drop, the hip drop shit. I'm like, you don't know Montez Sweat. That's why you looking at him like that, because you don't know Montez Sweat. Like Jaden, like a couple times in this game, is trying to beat Montez to the sideline, and I'm like, I can tell him doing that is just out of pure like, I'm faster and I'm better than you, like athletic
Yeah.
arrogance, which is nothing wrong with that, like athletic arrogance. But he clearly did not know Montez Sweat ran a 4.4, and he don't give a damn how fast you are, bro. He gonna beat you to the sideline, and like that's literally all that was, bro. But yeah, I didn't really see no huge issues with the refs. Sure they may have been annoying, but like what game, especially in an intense game like this, are they not going to be annoying?
I think
That's just
I
kind of
think
saw it.
I want to say one thing. I want I want the fan base. I mean, they're some are still gonna do it, but I want a lot of the fan base to get out of the mindset that Jaden Daniels is trying to win Rookie of the Year. You're looking at a guy that is playing well enough to win MVP of the entire league. like like forget the Rookie of the Year talk. Like this man is playing MVP caliber football. Like that's just simply what it is. If you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. The furthest thing from my mind, rooting for this team, rooting for Jaden Daniels is Rookie of the Year. This guy's playing MVP football.
Hey, you ain't said nothing but a word, bro. Like he is playing MVP football. And I think that, like, honestly, today is one of those. If I had a one sentence takeaway, bro, it's just survive, man. And that's the ginger ale and the liquor. But it's just survive, bro. Like it's like one of those moments where it's like you're not always gonna have a super clean game. It's more about like, some things are gonna be pretty, some things you're gonna get extremely lucky, like today. But you move forward. You got the Giants. I think the Giants are up next, and you got an opportunity to address your mistakes, have a better game against an opponent that you already kicked 7 field goals in the red zone against, and keep it pushing. Like the goal is to win, and they did that this week. But you can't look at this and say like this was a super clean game. And from the point that you made, I'll just end it with obviously this is just something that we have to take into account. You can't look for like scapegoats. It should have never been. Speaking of scapegoats, oh my goodness, the DPI on third down. I mean on fourth down in the last drive of the game, bro. Like I'm like, bro, like keep your hands to yourself. Like I don't know how I should slip that. Like that like people hit in the one sentence segue. I remember that coming into the show. Somebody said we ain't letting BSJ off the hook. I'm like, bro, like that that play was rough, but it's like those are one of the ones that have a really good game for 59 minutes in 30 seconds. And then that one jump, it's like, damn, I
Yeah, I mean,
I know
it,
people
it
gonna be talking about this.
yeah, I mean it's Keenan Allen, bro. Like you on the island. Like they played zero on that. You on the island with Keenan Allen. He's one of the best route runners in NFL history. Like he routed him up. He got Ben to bite down, possibly for a slant, and he cut it right back outside, and he had no choice but to hold him. You feel me? Um, yeah. So I mean that's the life of a cornerback, especially if you're a Washington fan. You're just looking for a guy to complain about something in regards to pass defense. I mean, it's very few shutdown corners out there in the league, man. That's the great thing of having an elite wide receiver, man. Like that's what Keenan Allen has been doing, will continue to do for the remainder of his life. He may not be Tyreek Hill speed, even a Terry McLaurin speed, but he will route you the hell up, especially if you have no help.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the end of the day. Just elite receivers just gotta remain composed. And it's not. I'm saying that from a person that's sitting at home. More so, just being honest and objective. Like that is like the goal of any cornerback in those moments. Like that's how you actually make a name for yourself. For the better, it's when you have that composure. When you make those big plays. And for Skins fans, think about Rashard Breeland 2014 Monday Night Football, and he's matched up 1-on-1 against Dez Bryant the whole night. And
You
they and
mean
it comes
Antonio Brown, or was it Des Bryant
no,
game?
bro, that's crazy. No, that's when Josh Norman came into town. I'm talking about when Brashad Breeland made his actual when he put his foot in the door and got his name on the map. The
Oh,
Monday,
okay.
yeah, that John.
Yeah, got
Um,
you.
I mean, obviously the inverse in the other other situation.
Yeah, because like Breland's was my guy. I mean, I haven't talked to him in some time, but like during that time when that I think that was a week one Pittsburgh Steelers,
Week
uh,
one Monday night, I remember it.
yeah, Monday night game. Boy, what Antonio Brown did to him that night never left him for that whole season.
Nope.
Like,
No,
I
his
mean, me,
yep.
me and him we would be at charity events. He was thinking about that shit. We would be at the club. He was thinking about that. We'd be at dinner. It was like, bruh, get over it. Like it's one game, but
You know what's wild?
it literally stayed with him that entire season, bruh. Like,
You know what's wild? You ain't even had to tell me that. It showed on the field. He was thinking about it ever since, bro. He was like, "Oh
yeah,
my god,
it was
Antonio
just like
Brown
he
cooked
could
me
not
6 weeks
shake it.
ago."
Yeah, he couldn't shake it, man. Like, I don't
um,
know.
but not to the point though, and I'll close out. We can close out with that. Was just saying, the composure
Oh,
is the
one
biggest
last
thing.
thing. Also, don't forget the fourth down play that Ben St. Juice stopped when they were in
Oh
like
yeah,
a
hell yeah. But
goal
that's
line
what I'm saying.
formation.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he
so
read it.
it's like give or take, man. Like you're not gonna have a perfect game, but also don't forget about the play that he made earlier in
Okay,
the
all right.
game
Well,
that saved that fourth down.
I see what we're doing. I see what we're doing. I see what
I
we're doing.
mean,
Like,
and just
I'm not saying
disclaimer,
you.
that's
I'm not saying.
that's my boy. But it's
I'm not
like
saying.
let's look at
I'm.
the total game, and it's not against you, Maul. Just from a fan's perspective, like damn, Ben St. Juice another penalty. It's like,
Yeah,
bruh, hey,
I'm
shit
not
gonna
saying you
happen,
wrong
man.
because BSJ, like I said, that's why I made sure to emphasize Ben had a hell of a game, like for those 59 minutes in X amount of seconds. Like he had a really good game, bro. And I just think that's why I was like, when you have that moment where it's like it comes down to like a one-on-one, it's all on you against one of their best receivers, if not the best receiver. Like you got to make the play. What do you do? And that's where I was like, yeah, like that's the one that people think about the most. But I know you said you want to talk about me, and I agree. Like people got to keep that in mind. Like he had a really good game. He had a really good game, minus that one stupid penalty. Okay, all right, we out of here. I want to get this on the show. This is the radio call from the Hail Mary Brand Weinstein Commanders game. Shout out to Amani who sent this to me, and we'll get out of here with this. Here is this it? All right, here we go.
Daniels backing up.
Hey, Brian,
You know what's so crazy, Maul?
what's up?
I don't know if people remember when we had Caleb Williams, former high school coach, Randy Trivers, shout out to him, who still is coaching at Gonzaga, but
We gotta go
he
to one of his
broke.
games. By the way, we gotta go.
Yeah, for sure. Like I talked to him, he told me just let him know. So yeah, like he talked to us about Caleb winning the national. I mean, not the national, but winning the championship off of a Hail Mary, and this just so happened to be a Hail Mary game for Jaden Daniels while Randy was at the game and on
Oh, he
top
was
of
at
that
the
the Gonzaga students.
game.
Yeah. His players were a part of the presentation of the game. Like they were on the field with the flag and everything, and Randy was there as well. So it's crazy how things work, bro.
Hey, bro, that man was at the game, bro, and I know he was. I know when we got to the Hillberry Joint, he was probably thinking about that moment too. He had.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
man, shout out to Coach Travers, bro. Yeah, I definitely gotta go pop up on him, man. He showed some love for us during that draft process. I want to see a game with them, so we can try and see if we can make that happen one Saturday, and things like that. Okay. Like I said, not Will, sorry, but Rob, y'all have your opinion about the refs. I'm not going to argue with you all. If that's your opinion, it's cool. How your feelings. I'm not here to argue with you. I got how I feel with the game. It's perfectly fine. But that's gonna wrap it up for us. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Hey man, 6-2. Don't matter how it happened. We're gonna worry about the problems during the film session during the week when we talk to other people, man. But 6-2 on our way to a New York Giant road game in MetLife. So y'all take it easy. Enjoy the Sunday night game if you were still watching. But we out of here, man. Peace.
Yes, sir.